Hi. Last video we discussed about how to connect MySQL server with the PHP. Now in this video we are going to learn about file handling in PHP. So file handling actually very important in web application. In order to do the file operations, end user able to load the file and upload the file to the server. So many applications support file handlings. So PHP also support file handling. PHP has several functions for creating, reading, uploading, and deleting files. Next. So in order to open the file in PHP, there is a function that is fopen. Fopen is actually having two arguments. One first parameter of fopen contains the name of the file to be opened, and second parameter specifies which mode the file should be opened. So mode means either may be read or write or read and write. Okay. So the mode operations. So we are specifying the file name. So in this syntax, so I have created the dollar file handle. The fopen, the function name is fopen. File name you should mention, and what is the mode for that. So here file name is name of the file which we are going to open, and mode is how can you want open the file, purpose of the opening the file. Next we are going to discuss about what are the modes of files. So here I have given table structure for mode and description. Here the file open R means read only, open a file for read only. So the purpose of open the file is read only. So here the file pointer starts at the beginning of the file. So if you specify file operation is mode is suppose W, that meaning is open a file for write only. It specifies if you specify a file for W, it is nothing but it erases the contents of the file or creates a new file. If does not exist, file pointer starts at the beginning of the file. So if you specify mode is A, open a file for write only. Okay, so that if it is existing data is the file is preserved. So if you specify W, the existing data will be erased. If you specify A, the existing data in a file is to be preserved. File pointer start end of the file and create a new file if the file is not doesn't exist. If you specify mode is X, creates a new file for the write only. So it returns false if error file already exists. Okay, so that if you specify X, if it is not if already exists, so it creates error. So one more mode operation is R plus. So it is open a file, read or write. So R and R plus is extra. It is added write version. So file pointer starts from beginning of the file. Okay. If it specifies W plus, open a file, read or write more, erase the content of the file, creates a new file. If does not exist, file pointer starts at the beginning of the file. So if you specify A plus, open a file for read or write. So existing data in the file preserved, file pointer starts end of the file, creates a new file if the file pointer doesn't exist. Okay, and if you specify X plus, creates new file, write read and write. So it returns false when the file already exists. In this way, we are specifying modes of the files. Next, if you suppose this is a example in order to open file. So I used in order to open the file here my file name is dictionary.txt, and also I used function fopen which is having two arguments. One is file name. So my file name is dictionary.txt. What is my mode? Read. So this is dictionary.txt. What is the content in that content or characters which are lies in the dictionary.txt can be read by using handle. Okay, so if the file is open, if the suppose my fopen function executed, so that it returns so if it is open, it handle. So I specifies as a $handle, it returns true. So that if returns true, file open. Okay, so by using this example, we can whether the file is opened or not. So for the read only memory, read only mode. Next, so one more function which supports by the PHP read file, that is fread. So fread, after opening the file, in order to read the content from the file, we are using fread. So fread function reads the file, open the file, and the first parameter of the fread contains the name of the file read, and the second parameter specify the maximum number of bytes to be read. Okay, so in the following PHP code, read the webdictionary.txt file to the end. So this is the syntax in order to read the content from the file, that is fread. A first parameter is so opening file. So in order to open the file, we use fopen. So that is that returns $myfile in this scenario, and the file size which I have given the length of the web dictionary, file size of webdictionary.txt. If you want to read 10 characters, specify 10. So I actually in this scenario, I wanted to read our total content from the webdictionary.txt. So that I use this one. Okay. So by using fread function, we can read whenever the file is opened, read the characters, okay, as bytes. Next. So one more function in PHP, file close, fclose. So fclose requires the name of the file. So we want to close whenever if I want to close the reference of the file, open file. In that scenario, I use fclose. So here initially I opened the file by using fopen webdictionary.txt with the read mode. Then by passing this reference $fmyfile to the fclose function, the opened file will be closed. That is in that way we can close the file. Next, so one more function, that is PHP Read Single Line. So in order to read the single line from the open the file, the function name is fgets, fgets. Okay. So this is to read the single line from a file. So that this is the example. So first I need we need to open the file by using fopen function. There I specify webdictionary.txt with read mode. Why? Because I read the content from the file, so that I have specified read or. Okay. So here one more function I written or with our logical OR operator. So that is die unable to open file. If the file is opened, okay, it returns my file. If not open, unable to open the file, it will be displayed. Okay. After that, I read the so already file open by using fopen. Then I need to read, right? So a single line. So for that I used fgets by passing the file reference, that is $myfile. So that fgets print, get the information from the file in a one line. Okay. Only one line read from the webdictionary.txt. So that one line will be displayed on the web console. Okay. After that I need to I closed the file pointer. Okay. So after in this way, after reading the one line from the character, one line from the file, control goes to next line, and that way any number of calls you can call, that many number of lines going to be displayed on the web page. So in this way we can read the single line from the file. Next, one more function, that is file end of file. So it's a PHP supports end of file function. So here function checks if the end of file has been reached or not. So file having content, right, set of characters which is having. So after reading the characters which is goes to either it is reached to end of file or not. For that we are using end of file function. So we can run looping through data of unknown length even if you are. So for that, first of all, this is example. First I need to open the file. Okay. So fopen webdictionary.txt, same as usual code I have written earlier also. Here whether the we are at the pointer at end of the file or not. If it is not, just we are printing the line. Okay. So that by using end of file, whether it is correct pointer to the end of file, so that we need to check. So that's what I'm using here while. So if while f end of file of $myfile, if it is not, print a line of by using gets function, fgets function, it prints a line of from the dictionary dictionary.txt. After that I need to close the file pointer. Okay, in this way we need to check end of the file of the like by using feof function. Next, PHP read single character. So earlier fgets fgets function used to read single line. So this is the function fgetc. So is to go read a single character from a file. So that this is an example how to read a single character from the web dictionary.txt. So just I need to open first initially. After that, so whether it is end of the file or not, I need to check. If it is not, so that's what I have written in while. So looping, by using looping, I am reading the content from the web dictionary.txt file. Okay, character by character it is going to be display on it read the from the web dictionary.txt. Okay, so in this way we are we are reading the character by character from the file. So these are the functions. So those functions are fopen. In order to open the function, while opening itself we need to specify the mode of that function. After that, how to close the function, how to close the file. After that, how to read the function by using fread, and then how to read one single line by using fgets, and then how to read single character from the file. Okay, next. PHP file create and write. So up to this we discussed only how to read character by character, how to read line by line, how to read up the file. Okay, so in this PHP file 5 onwards, file can read and write. It support can create and write. So how to create and how to write to a file on the server. So for that, first we need to by using fopen. So this example below creates a new file called testfile.txt. The file will be created in the same directory, and PHP code where the PHP code resides. So here I open fopen testfile.txt with the mode is W. Earlier we opened with mode is read, only R. So here write, W stands for write. It means that the contents will be erased in the text file.txt. Newly added content will be write onto the text file.txt. Okay, so even though whatever operations you can perform on the file, first you should open the file by using the syntax. Okay, next. PHP write to a file. By using fwrite function, we can write the characters onto the file. The first parameter fwrite contains the name of the file to write to, and the second parameter string to be written. So this is example. See the example. So first thing is I need to open the file new file.txt. The mode is W. So this is a W. Whether it is there, if it is there, suppose new file.txt, the content which is available in that should be erased if your mode is W. Then I just join DOE, I need to add the characters, these characters to new file.txt. So that for that I used fwrite function, which is having two parameters. First parameter is $myfile, that is opening up pointer of the new file.txt, then text. So in this way 2 lines I added to that new file.txt. After that we need to close the file pointer. Okay, in this way we can write the content on the file. While doing operation it should be start from beginning. Okay, if the mode is W. Next, and PHP overwriting. So now that new file.txt contains some data, we can show what happens when we open existing file for writing. All the existing data to be erased and we started with an empty file. If you suppose this is example overwriting. So if you open the file by using fopen new file.txt, the mode is W, that the content will be erased, right? And if you write fwrite, so here Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, just by using fwrite functions, correspondingly we will the content will be added to the new file.txt, right? Next, So one more function, PHP base name function. So base means in order to know the root path of the file. So for that, this is the syntax base name path comma suffix. So path means required, this should be required, specify the path to check, and suffix means this is optional, specify the file action. Suppose my file name welcome.php. Okay, so .php, that is optional if you want to know base name for that. Okay, next example explains about this one. Example for this is if the file name has this file extension, the file extension will not show. So in this example, just I declared a path, that is testwebhome.php. So here by using base name, so if you display path, so shows file with file extension. It shows that we are getting the output as testweb.home. So here home.php for the first line. Next line, if you use if you use base name path .php specifies .php will not be displayed, only home will be displayed. So base name is to know the root directory. Okay, next one. So reading the file into array. So up to this, we have performed file operations: open the file, read the file, write the file, erase the content, and rewrite the content onto the file. Now reading the file into the array. So by using file function, we can read the content and place into the array. Each array element contains a line from the line with the new line still attached. So this is a syntax for file. So we need to specify path and include underscore path, that is, it is Boolean variable, it is true or false. Context is optional. Anyway, this is the syntax in order to read the file, read the content from the file to array. Next. So here the parameter path, it should be required, specify the file to be read. So we need to specify the path of the file and then include underscore path. This is optional. Set this is to 1 if you want to search for the file in the include path as well. Okay, and context is optional. Specify the context of the file handle. Context is set of that can modify the behavior of a stream, can be skipped by. Okay, so that if you want to open the file, so these are the parameters. Path should be required, remaining two are optional. Next. So this is the example. So in this, just I print test dot. If you write a file function test.txt, that will be treated as array. This is indexed array. Okay, so just straight away I printed this by using print underscore r. So the content which is available. If you want to print some other things, just you can by using while loop you can print, right. So here array of indexed array. So the content which are available test.txt is hello world resting each line. So each line points to, so line by line you can read. So each line by using keys here indexes 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, like that. So in order to read the file, you go for file which is having 3 arguments. Next. So unlink function. So this is unlink function which deletes a file. The function returns true, it is to be success or else false. Okay, unlink function which is having 2 arguments, one is file name, another is context. So here file name is required, specify the file to be deleted, and context optional, specify the context to be file has context, is set to be option, that can be behavior of the stream. So that which file is going to be deleted, that will be that is required if you use unlink function in PHP. Next. So this is the example for that, in order to delete a file. So just a file test.txt, if unlink $file. So just we assign pointer to the file variable, by passing that variable to the unlink, so that test.txt file will be deleted. So if it is true, so unlink if you specify it, if it is true, so that the file is deleted, suppose. Okay, if it is deleted or not deleted. So in this scenario, test.unlink file not means, so it returns false, so that else part will be executed. Why? Because unlink function which is used to delete the file. but even though it returns true, so that not means false, so that the output will be deleted $5. So test.txt file will be deleted. Next. Yeah. So one more function, file underscore get underscore contents function. So this function is preferred to where read the contents of the file into a string, because it will use memory mapping techniques in this supported by server to enhance the performance. So here by using file underscore get context, which read the contents of the file. Okay, this is having arguments as a parameter path, include underscore path, okay, context, start, max length. So here path means, next, path required specify the file to read and include underscore path. So optional is set this parameter 1 if you want to search for the file in the include path as well. So if you want to if you give the path is optional parameter is 1, suppose, okay, so the file should be available. If it is false, if it is 0, that may not available. And the context optional specify the context of the file handle. Context set option that can modify the behavior of a stream that can be skipped by using null. So you can use null this. Start optional specifies where in the file start reading. Maximum length optional specify how many bytes to be read. So in this way we can use this function. Okay, so this is an example. So file underscore get underscore contents in the test.txt. So the output of the file will be, this is the test file with the tester. So what is the content in there, that will be displayed on the browser. So these are the things browser file operations can be done by using PHP. What are the file operations? And once again I conclude, the file in order to do the operations you should first open the file by using fopen, then read the file by using fread, or else some other functions are there, fgets, fread, fget characters, and also you can read and write as well as appending the files you can do by using these functions. Thank you.